happy WIP Wednesday. For this WIP Wednesday, I thought I would talk about a pattern that I've been working on. This is a crochet pattern and it's called the Trail Mix Headband. There are two versions, this adjustable one here with like a cord, and then this one which is like an infinity loop. It's a super beginner friendly, easy, quick pattern. It mainly uses one stitch, and then I wouldn't even say this is a more complicated one. You add a cord to this one. I named this the Trail Mix Headband because the first one, which is this one, I made for a hiking trip that I was going on. I just felt like oh no, my cat's gonna knock this phone over. I made this for a hiking trip that I was going on, and I kind of felt like my hiking clothes that I had and my outfits were just kind of boring, and I wanted something to accessorize and make my outfit a little bit cuter. So I thought I would try and crochet myself a headband. And this is kind of modeled after these like soft, stretchy headbands that I used to wear when I was a kid that have now made a comeback over the last like year or two. And I just wanted kind of like a wide, sporty headband. While I was on my hike actually wearing this headband, I realized it might be nice to have one that you could kind of just readjust a little bit easier without having to like retie it, even though this stayed pretty well. I didn't have to retie it like while I was actually hiking, I just had to retie it the next day. But I thought I would try another version, which is why I made this loop one. The other reason why it's called the Trail Mix Headband is because of the mix of colors that I used. This was intended to be a scrap yarn project, and I made these like first three out of scrap yarn that I already had, and so yeah, the mix part is the mix of colors that I used. These were all crocheted with 100% cotton DK weight yarn. This batch here was made with L Cotton's double knit, which I only recently realized is a yarn that's only available in South Africa, I believe. I did buy it in South Africa. So after I did this batch, I wanted to test it in another yarn brand that might be more accessible. The problem with that is that I now live in China, which means that I still don't really have access to all of the more common brands, like the more Western brands. So I did my best, and I decided to test it with Daruma knitting cotton. I think that's how you pronounce it. Daruma is a Japanese yarn brand, and it is a little bit more accessible, or it's easier to find in other countries as well. The only issue that I ran into is that the Daruma one leans more like true DK, which I didn't realize until I compared it to the L Cottons, which is listed as a DK weight yarn, but I think leans more worsted weight. So at first that made me kind of nervous and stressed, and I was thinking of doing a tester call, even though I didn't really feel like I needed to with such a like small basic pattern, but I was really curious to know how it would work with other yarn brands. Then I tested it a few more times and I felt better about it. I ended up adding some like notes on the actual pattern for it, like what to do if your yarn leans more worsted weight or if it leans more DK. But I would still be curious to know how this pattern works with some other more common yarn brands. So I think here I'll include a few brands that have been on my eye that I would love to try that I don't have access to. So this isn't really like an official tester call, but if anyone out there wants to try this pattern ahead of time too, DM me and let me know, and I would be eternally grateful. I can't really give you anything in return other than some like love on social media and my many thanks. But yeah, I'm really curious to know how it works with some other yarn. I'm really happy about these headbands. I have way too many now, but I like all of them. And I do feel like they made my hiking outfits a little bit cuter. So yeah, this pattern will come out April 22nd. Still just putting the finishing touches on it, so it's still a WIP, and hope you have a good Wednesday. Bye.